What's up, guys? Kyle Jones, Jones Sport Fishing. Hey, I know you guys long been waiting. We've been saying that we were going to do these rod reviews, Bobberdogging Rod Reviews, since I believe September, and the day is finally here. It's the middle of January. I know guys wanted these videos probably a little earlier, but I thought it was important that we had at least half of the season to fish these things and give you guys a really good rundown on what we got going on. So now that we've had quite a bit of time to fish these rods and kind of figure out some things that we liked, disliked, how they just overall fished, I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a rundown. We paid out of pocket for all these rods except two of them. So I will let you guys know when we get to those rods which setups I had given to me, but that's really not going to change anything about the way the video or anything like that's going to be done. So first thing is price. We had rods ranging from under $100, right at $100, all the way up to just over $500 retail price. So we kind of tried to cover a gamut here and give you guys an idea of what we were looking for and what we thought about all of these different rods. And also, this review is based purely on bobberdogging, but some of this stuff could be translated over to standing on the bank, bobber fishing. Some of these rods would make solid side drifting rods as well. So keep that in mind as we go through, and hopefully this is helpful for you guys if you're looking to make a rod purchase. So I think we'll start with the top dog first. So the first rod here that I want to talk about, and not break them all. First rod I want to talk about here, and this is by far the most expensive rod in here. This rod retails for over $500. It's the Loomis IMX Pro steel header. This is the 9'9". It's the 1171, 9'9", fast action. It's a medium light rod, 3/8 to 6 to 12 pound line rating. This by far, out of the rods that we had, was my ultimate favorite. But is it $500 favorite? I don't know. Lift up. There we go. Nice. Another one coming with us. Look at that nice, bright looking one. Gosh, that's a beautiful fish. Beautiful fish. That's a pretty tough pill to swallow. There's a number of things that I really, really like about this rod. It's incredibly light in the hand, so that's a big deal for me when we're fishing all day long. Having a light feeling rod in the hand is big. Incredibly sensitive, and then it had the right blend of power, between power and like cushion. I don't know, cushion for the leader, that kind of thing that you talk about. So all of those things, incredibly positive about this rod. The one thing I will complain about, this is one major complaint that I have here with this rod. This foregrip on these Loomis IMX rods, it's too thick. I don't like a big, thick grip. I'll show you some of these others a little bit later that have thinner grips. I think the cork on the rear handle is thin, is too thick. It just doesn't feel top dollar, right? For a almost $550 rod, this thing should be perfect. And this handle feels clunky. I don't like the composite cork down here at the bottom. It just there's parts of this rod that just feel cheap. So by far my favorite blank, but there are things that I definitely don't like about it. That big handle up front is just something that if I was to go build a rod like that would need to be thinner. That's a big downside for me on that one. But all in all, fishing all day long, and durability. This rod's held up very, very well. We caught a bunch of fall kings on it. We caught a bunch of steelhead. It's been a great setup. So that's the IMX Pro steelhead. the G Loomis. That's the top of the line rod that I had for this test. So the other thing that I want to talk about, there's some other rods out there that are high end rods, but availability for me was a big deal. So there's a certain company out there that builds some really high end stuff. We would have loved to be able to test some of their rods, but I didn't have, you know, a couple of months to wait to get them. So that's kind of where we were at there. Moving on, we'll kind of go down the line for expensiveness here. So the Loomis, most expensive. The next most expensive rod we have here retail is the Swate Local 2. This is a North 40 store brand. These rods I've had, you know, this is one of the rods that was given to me. This rod retails for right at $200. There's a lot of things I really like about this rod. It's a 9'8". I really like for bobberdogging. I like something in that 9'6" to 9'9", right in that 9'6" range, and this rod falls right in that category. It's incredibly sensitive. It's the medium power. So my only thing is that I wish this rod had a medium light. I think the medium's a little bit fast for what I like. I want to be able, there's times where I want to be able to run 8 pound leaders and get real light when the water's real low and clear, and I feel like this rod might be just a little bit much for that. But overall fishability wise, the Swate Local 2 was fantastic.
Yeah, it is. Kind of like the last one. Shit, just step back. What a fish, man. What a fish. That's a big fish. That is a big old beautiful Idaho steel. Good golly. That doesn't have that much in it.
Reel down as close as you can to that bobber and then lift.
Yep. Reel down some more. Reel down, and then nice, slow, easy. No way.
The one complaint I will have, I do like the honeycombed rear grip on this rod and the carbon. I like the reel seat in itself. It's very comfortable. What I don't like, and I'll show you guys here, what I don't like is this ultra thin handle. I mean, this handle is thin to the point where there's nothing on it, and the problem I have with that handle is we fish when it's cold here, and my hands, when I hold the rod with the whole hand up above the reel, that's how I like to hold it, and my hand gets really cold on that rod where it doesn't on others. So that's probably one of the only complaints I have on that rod. Other than that, a little side note, North 40 did throw in these reels for me to test too, and These are the Sway, what are these? These are the Brigade X in the 3000 size. These are sweet. I am probably going to be switching over all my stuff to that reel, but it's not a reel review, it's a rod review. So the Sway Local 2, pretty solid stick. I would change that foregrip. I don't like that at all, but other than that, the reel seat's great. Components seem like everything's held up great. It's been very durable. So pretty good option there. And at 200 bucks, it's a lot better, more affordable than the $500 Loomis. So that's kind of where we're at on there. So continuing to move down the line here. Next most expensive rod, as we just kind of plot our way through this, is the Lamiglas Redline. These retail for right about $150. I bought this one at North 40, so that's what I paid for it. Overall, really solid rod. I really like in the Lamiglas, this rod is, what is this one? This one's a 9'4", so it's a little bit shorter than I would think is ideal, but to me that's not a game changer. It's right in that 9.5. I really like the reel seat, the foregrip, and the handle on this Redline. I think it's very well thought out. The rear grip is a little bit slick. That's probably the only negative there, but the reel seat, if you could take this reel handle and put it on that Sway rod, I think you'd have, or even take this reel handle and put it on that Loomis rod, you'd have maybe the setup. Other than this being a touch slick, that's about it. But the Lamiglas Redline, I do hear some durability issues that come up with Lamiglas, so this rod would probably rank a little bit higher than I have it, but those durability issues kind of keep flushing up, and we'll talk about that a little bit later with another rod I have here. But the 8-12, so the Lamiglas Redline, Bobberdogging, great rod. This rod would also double as a great side drifter. So would the G Loomis. Great side drifted rods, good sticks. So can't go wrong there. 150 bucks. I didn't get to experience Lamiglas's warranty, so I don't know there, but they've been around in the Northwest market for a long time. So solid rod. Would definitely not think twice about having a whole set of those. And we'll keep moving down the line here. I think with that we'll go to the other Lamiglas, and here's where things get interesting. Here's the Lamiglas X11. And as you can see, it's in two pieces. I don't know if any of you guys had the opportunity. Maybe we'll put a link in here to it, or I'll pop it in right here.
You gotta go up. Of course, she's on the bottom hook. That's all right. We're all good. Got him.
And I will admit, in the video, it does get high stick. The bobber gets reeled all the way into the tent, and I'm telling him to lift. We got a really long leader rod. So this rod surviving that incident and it breaking on that, I was not surprised. But that same scenario that this rod went through is a common thing that all of these rods have been through, and this one broke. So the X11, I know it's their lower, the Lamiglas's lower down version. No, I mean like less expensive version. It was great. Really loved it. Not quite as sensitive as those other three over there, but you know, for a little, I think it was 110 bucks. This is kind of what happened. I would not, moving forward. The reel handle, everything here, you know, seems a little bit chintzy. This feels kind of plasticky. This is kind of the cheap style reel handle. Not a giant fan there, and with the brake issues, and I have had X11s in the past, and this has been a common thing. Like, I break a lot of rods. I'm not going to blame this rod or Lamiglas for the failure, but in the course of reviewing rods and having stuff that I was testing, this is the only one that broke. So there it is. Take it for what it is. So we'll set that one aside. Moving on, the next most expensive in here is the Sway, the local. This is the This is the original version of the the Local 2. These are still available. I will let you guys know, North 40 did comp me this rod to go through this test, and I told them I'd let them know what I thought about it. Overall, absolutely great rod. It's right at 9.6. It's that medium power. It's a little bit softer action than the medium power in the Local 2, and I like that. Some of my complaints here is you can see the difference in the foregrip and the rear grip. I think this just looks cheap. So North 40, I would get rid of the cork up here, and I'd put this back there. This just looks ridiculous. I don't know why, but in my boat, I want to be able to look down at my stuff and be like, yeah, that looks good. That doesn't look good. That's probably, and then the kind of the reel seat there, not a giant fan, but it's the lower price budget model, and I would not have a problem fishing these things. They're not anything special to look at. I will tell you too, in conversations, especially with my brother, when you're trying to figure out what rod it is that you have in your hand, the black writing on the gray carbon rod, I don't understand why you would do that. That anybody that doesn't have great eyes, it's hard to read. So you go into the store and you're in that store lighting, you can't even hardly figure out what rod you're looking at. So guys, I would change that and put white writing on here. What?
Show it again.
What?
Show it again.
Oh, the black writing on there, no go.
Yeah.
All right, you zoom back out?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but overall, great budget rod. Like I said, I wouldn't have a problem having a set of these in my boat. So this rod retails for right at $100. And North 40 tends to stand by their products, guys. So this rod is for a store brand rod. These Swait rods are fantastic. I've got some of these Swait rods in a back trolling in a bait casting rod that I use back trolling, and then I also use some of their 12 footers for trolling for salmon, and I absolutely love them. But these spinning rods, guys, we could clean this up a little bit and make this look like make this a better rod. So yeah, with that said, we'll keep moving on down the line, and we'll go to our lowest price point rod on here, and that is the Okuma SST.
All the way down, stop, and lift.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Keep doing that, just keep working.
How's it feel, John?
Feels pretty good, Wayne. I don't want to lose them.
Coax him on him. Nice job.
Line for me.
Perfect. Yep. Good. Wild one. Yeah.
This rod here, this is the older style with the kind of the orange blank. They've since updated these. They've got a carbon handle on them and with a black blank, but they're mostly the same rod, just with a facelift. These rods are workhorses, guys. If you're looking to spend, I think they're $89. If you're looking to spend under $100, and bobberdogging is a technique where you don't necessarily need a sensitive rod. It needs to be light in the hand, and it needs to have the right action to be, it needs to be fast enough to where when you do set the hook, it locks up, but it also needs to be soft enough to where you can protect your leader. So this is the 9.6 medium light, 6 to 12 pound, quarter to a half ounce lure. These rods have been fantastic, and I've had this rod for probably going on 7 or 8 years, and it gets thrown in the boat, double duties as a backup rod when I break other side drifting rods. I've had it as float rods a number of times, and they just work, and they keep ticking along. When you get into this price range, you've got the cheaper cork with the non-butt. Sometimes these will get worn. They'll get some boat rash. This one's got a little bit of it. But overall, like, that rod's just comfortable in the hand. Nothing special, nothing fancy, just a good workhorse rod. So if you're looking for a budget rod, I'm going with the Okuma SST. So now I guess it's going to come down to what What I would recommend, the rod that I would recommend to buy out of this bunch, if price point and all that, if I were to buy a rod for my purposes, I think I said it earlier, I would take, my number one here is going to go back to the most expensive or the most too expensive. I would marry these two rods together. I would take Lamiglas's butt handle here and put it on this G Loomis, and I think you would have an unbelievable drifting. I mean, you can throw spinners with this thing. You can do bobberdogging. This butt handle on this rod would be perfect. But other than that, I don't really feel like any of these things. I think budget, I'm going here with the Okuma or the Suede. I think these Suedes are great. But if I'm looking to spend a little bit more money and have like the rod, I'm gonna look for something that's a combo of these. So hopefully that helps, guys. Those are the rod reviews. If you guys have any other rods or any other stuff you guys want us to do, we'd be more than happy. Hopefully this was helpful. We appreciate you guys, and God bless, and we'll see you later.